How's it going, guys? It's me, Domo, of the Domo channel, here today with Gakkou Gurashi episode 4. And before I start off, I want to say that I called it. I called it. I said this for the past 2 episodes or so, and I called it. So, what we've been seeing in episode 4 and previous episodes is that this next episode is all about Miki and her backstory before she met the whole group. And like I said in previous episodes, they're all backstories of every single character in the anime. And the reason why they're doing this is because now that we know about the characters and their whole background, we're going to, develop attachment towards them, right? Until when something happens in the end, then shit will go down basically. So let's go start off and look at every single thing from this anime, because this anime had a lot of hints, clues, stuff that caught my eye specifically, and I'm going to tell you all about it in this review. So first off, in the very start of this episode, this picture, right? Where does it come from? So Yuki and Miki are drawing some pictures for a graduation album. Let me say it again. A graduation album. Doesn't that, kind of hint towards something? Like, it clues you up. You cannot say that in this anime with zombies and stuff. So, and why? Why make a graduation album? So, I assume this graduation thing is gonna be some kind of, huge event that happens later on in the anime. Because right now, we're learning about all the characters, so all hell could break loose later on in the show. That kind of scares me a little bit, but I don't know, guys. I don't know. So then afterwards, in the drawing of the album, we also see this picture here. And this picture includes Miki and her friend Kei immediately before the outbreak happened. So now we're going to go into Miki's backstory with Kei in the mall and when the outbreak happened over there. So it's like I assumed back then in episode 3 or 2. Miki didn't meet up with the group until they found her in the mall, which I want to talk about a lot in the end part of this video. So let's go on with this. So it's all now after the graduation album, it becomes like a flashback scenario story of Miki and Kei in the mall. So we see them having their normal school life day. School let out early. They didn't want to go home because it would be a waste, and that's kind of true. They go to the mall. They go to the mall to get books. They go hang out, be friends, be schoolgirls, etc. And we also get to see the origins of Tarumaru the dog. And apparently Tarumaru was this dog they met in the mall from an old lady. Some other person owned Tarumaru, and Tarumaru just took a liking to Miki and Kei. And I'm assuming that they bring Tarumaru to the school because Tarumaru is seen a lot in the school and the anime and whatnot. So Miki found him. Miki found Tarumaru. Confirmed. So after that, then after just continuous hanging out in the mall, we see that the mall begins to experience some sort of issue, some kind of danger, right? And that's of course a zombie outbreak happening because the people in the mall, they're advising everyone, oh, there's been some sort of situation going on. I want you all to listen to the mall staff and evacuate immediately. And then just all hell broke loose. Even Miki, in the very start of the flashback, she saw on TV that the outbreak was happening, and then she was looking at it, it's oh shoot, what's going on? But they ignored it. They totally ignored it. And I'm just come on, even I wouldn't ignore a freaking warning if you see people eating each other, right, on TV. So anyways, back to the point. So the zombie outbreak happens in the mall, and people are trying to evacuate, but zombies are in the mall and eating each other. So Miki and Kei run to some sort of what was it? It's a clothing store, I believe, and they hide in one of the dressing rooms, right? And they're hiding in there until Tarumaru comes out of nowhere and starts licking Kei, right? It's oh shoot, Tarumaru's here. And then there was blood on him, and then why is there blood on Tarumaru? Is he injured? No, he's not. And then they look outside and they see the owner of Tarumaru is a zombie and they're eating someone, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. One thing I want to say really badly in this anime review video is that the animation style, the cuteness, the opening, everything, it throws me off so much. But when you finally see like it's a zombie anime, you see the zombie, the horror, and everything like that, it changes so bad. And like episode one was all cutesy and stuff, right? This episode here was sort of cutesy, but there was just so like when you see the zombies, everything changes. So they see the zombies and then they book it. They run and they hide themselves in some sort of like staff room, I'm assuming it is. Because in this room, they barricade the door. They have supplies of food and water in there. And I'm just like, and a bathroom. And I'm just like, okay, this place is pretty secure. What they did is they barricaded the door with like boxes and stuff. And they've been staying in this room for like about it doesn't say exactly, but they've been staying there for like a few days at most because they sleep there for a long time. So yeah, eventually it all goes down when Kei has different opinions towards Miki. Miki had this sort of notion that, help would come. We should just stay in the room and barricade ourselves, keep ourselves safe, and we won't go outside. Kei thought differently. She thought that it would be better to go outside. She wanted to go outside. She keeps saying that she wanted to go outside. She didn't want to be stuck in the room doing nothing in this zombie outbreak, in this emergency, and they don't know what's going on. And yeah, they had different clashing opinions, right? And eventually that leads to Kei packing up some stuff, and she goes out. She goes outside their safe house, and we don't hear from her ever again, supposedly. Eventually, Miki feels really devastated about this because now her best friend in this situation has left her, and now she's just all left her room in the safe house room with Taramaru. Taramaru stays with Mi-Kun, which is really, you know, I mean, Kei, if she found help, she would come back, but as we all know, in zombie situations, that's not what happens. So, that's actually where it cuts off. What happened? Also, we also see that like the school life club before they've met Miki, and that's just the four of them. I'm gonna talk about that after this. And the last we see of Miki and Kei is Miki wakes up on the couch one day, and Taramaru is gone. He supposedly climbed out the window, or climbed out through the door because there's a window on top. Like, see this door here? There's like a window up top here, and he climbs through it. So Taramaru went out in the mall with zombie infestation, and I have no clue what will happen to him. And Miki is going to go look for him. And that's the last of Miki and Kei. I think they'll do one more episode with that because so much other stuff has happened on the other side while Miki and Kei are in the mall. So this is continuing in the past because this all was in the past before the present. So at the time that Miki and Kei were in the mall doing their own thing, right? The school life club was in the school, doing what they do. And Yuki comes up with the idea that she wants to go on a field trip or like a school outing in a way. And they're not supposed to leave the school as a rule to the club. But in this case, they consider it because they want to go get supplies they can't find in the school. So they come up with this elaborate plan to use Megu-nee's car and escape and just go on the school outing thing and find resources and stuff. And I must say, they had a very solid plan. I mean, in the ending of the anime, we see that they get the car and they escape the school. And I'm just sitting there as like, they got this all down. If they have to escape the school, they got their solid plan, even though it was kind of dangerous and risky. So basically, how they escaped the school was they got the Megu-nee's car keys, right? And they go use Megu-nee's car to escape the school. And it's a 4-seater, so it's fine. What they did, they sent Kurumi alone to go find the car and bring it to Ruri and Yuki, who were waiting in the front of the school. And we saw that, Kurumi struggled with fighting the zombies. And I'm just like sitting there, like, this is a bad plan. You see her getting surrounded by zombies, and she's like fighting and killing zombies with her shovel. But I mean, like, she barely got out of there alive. I would assume she barely got out of there alive because she had to like jump over the cars and she didn't know which one was Megu-nee's car. And I'm just like, dang, that's some. Kurumi's awesome, I must say. Kurumi is like their freaking strongest person in the group with her shovel. And yeah, so she killed a lot of zombies, found the car, and brought it to Yuri and Yuki. And they drive off in the horizon, like in a zombie ending movie, as they quote in the movie, or in the show. So now that we know what happened with Yuki and Megu-nee, and we know what happened to both sides. Now I want to discuss about things that I saw in this show, which threw me off a lot. So the first one is the graduation album. Like I said, the graduation album. Why would they be making a graduation album? Possible hints, because that at that point that's the present. That's when Miki had met everyone else. That's the present part. So they're making a graduation album for what reason? Are they like seriously graduating in real life, or is something gonna happen? Hint, hint in the show. That was the first thing. Next is Megu-nee, cause I swear on my reputation of an anime otaku that Megu-nee, like last episode was with Megu-nee, right? And then we saw her backstory in her eyes and like the whole first day of the outbreak, right? I kept assuming that Megu-nee was alive with the whole school life club during this whole time, right? But the more and more that I see of Megu-nee is like I keep thinking that she's dead, and I don't know. It's a hard discussion, so hear me out here. So when they come up with this plan to go and use Megu-nee's car to go on a school outing field trip thing, Yuki goes to get permission from Megu-nee, right? And we don't technically see Megu-nee give her permission. She just says, "Oh, Megu-nee got her permission," and then you see her just appear out of nowhere right behind her, and then so what they also do is they let Kurumi drive the car. It's like, oh, I'll drive the car. I'll let Kurumi drive the car. And then like you see Megu-nee saying like, oh no, it's my car, let me do it. But then they insist on Kurumi driving the car, and I'm just like, why not let Megu-nee drive the car? Unless she's dead, right? Because why don't they let her do these things that, it's her car, she can drive, she's the adult, she's supposed to take responsibility, right? And eventually, like, Yuki, like, insists on Kurumi driving the car too, and I'm just sitting here that Megu-nee is getting this attention. She's not getting any attention at all. Like, oh, what about Megu-nee? What does she think? And like another hint towards this is when they got the car. So Kurumi got the car and drove it to Yuki and Yuri waiting in the front. In that whole time, where was Megu-nee? Right? That's the question. Like, where Megu-nee wasn't there, wasn't sitting with Yuri. She wasn't helping Kurumi fight the zombies. But no, when they got in the car, Megu-nee was in the back with Yuki, and I'm just like, no, that's impossible. There's no way she could have done that. She was not with Yuri. Well, they didn't show her with Yuki and Yuri-san in the front, and there's no way she was fighting zombies with Kurumi. So how the heck is she in the car? She's in the back of the car, and no, that's just impossible, right? So then now I'm just starting to think that Megu-nee at that point is dead, and she's just a figment of Yuki's imagination. And this has been hitting me since like episode 2 and 3 and so on, because the way they act around Megu-nee is she isn't there, but she seems to be there, right? Or I don't know, it's such a difficult thing to think about, because in this episode, if she's dead in this flashback story of Miki and Kei still in the mall before they even met, then if she's dead, then when did she supposedly die before the whole group like thing? And I'm just like, it's hard. I want to believe that Megu-nee is alive, and well, because she's just been like an awesome character. People see her as someone to look up to, like an older sister. That's why they always call her Megu-nee. And since episode 3, I've grown to like her character. I just hope that she's not dead, but then I hope she's not dead, but then the way they put her character in the anime suggests that she might have a possibility of being dead and is just there because of Yuki's mind, and that she's there as like a conscience. And it scares me to think that she might actually be dead. But that's just it. We don't know yet. Because after this episode, we're going to see them in the mall as a part 2 to Miki's backstory. So, thank you guys for watching this video. I have a lot of questions about this anime, and I have a lot of theories and thoughts and whatever. But we're only going to find out more unless you watch the anime or read the manga, which I plan to do after the anime is over. So, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys on the next video on the Dome channel. So, take care, guys, and matane!